Hey there, my friend. Come on, get comfy. Picture this, we're sitting together under a giant, shady tree in a small, peaceful village. The sun is warm, the birds are singing, and I've got a story for you. It's a story about a boy named Raju. He wasn't a superhero or a prince. He was just a regular kid, just like you or me, from a simple home. We're going to walk through his whole journey, step by step, like friends having a long, interesting chat. As we follow his adventures, you'll learn about really important things like good habits, building a strong personality, and you'll even get to practice some English along the way. Sound good? Okay then, let's begin our story. Chapter 1: Raju's Lazy Days and the First Wake-Up Call. In a small village nestled near green, rolling hills, there lived a boy named Raju. He was 12 years old. His home was a simple one, with walls made of mud and a roof made of dried straw and grass, called a thatched roof. His father spent his days working hard in the fields, growing food for the family. His mother cooked simple, delicious meals like rice and yellow lentil soup called dal. Raju had one little sister, a cheerful girl named Minnie. Now, Raju had a habit, a very lazy habit. Every single morning, he would wake up late. The sun would already be high in the sky, shining brightly through his window. He would rub his sleepy eyes and say, "Oh no, I'm going to be late for school." But even though he said that, he moved as slowly as a sleepy snail. He would get out of bed, yawn a big yawn, and even eat his breakfast without washing his face first. His school books and clothes were always in a messy pile on the floor. His mother would say, "Raju, please tidy up," but Raju just couldn't find the energy. At school, things weren't great. The teacher would ask the class questions. "Raju," she would say, "can you tell me the answer?" But Raju's mind would feel foggy and blank. He hadn't looked at his books. He didn't know the answers. Some of his friends would giggle. "Raju sleeps too much," they whispered. Hearing this made Raju feel very small and sad inside. After school, he would run all the way home, his eyes filling with hot tears. One afternoon, his grandpa saw him crying. Grandpa was an old man with wrinkles on his face from many years of smiling, but he was still strong. He sat down next to Raju under their big tree. "Raju," Grandpa said in his gentle, rumbling voice, "life is very much like a tiny seed. If you bury a seed in the earth but let it sleep in the dark all day and all night, what happens?" Raju thought about it. It doesn't grow," he said softly. "That's right," said Grandpa. "It stays small. It needs the morning sun to wake it up and help it push through the soil. You, my boy, are like that seed. If you sleep all day, you will not grow. You must wake up with the sun. That is the beginning of discipline." Raju thought hard about that word. Discipline. It meant doing the right thing at the right time, every single day, even when you really don't feel like doing it. It meant being the boss of your own actions. The very next morning, Raju decided to try. He found an old alarm clock and set it for 5 o'clock in the morning. When it rang, it was so loud and sudden. Raju jumped out of bed, his heart pounding. He splashed cool water on his face. It felt fresh and good. He quickly swept the floor of his room. Then he sat down and ate his breakfast, steamy, soft idlis while they were still hot and fresh, not cold and sad. When he got to school, he was the first one in his class. The teacher looked at him with surprise and then a big smile. "Good morning, Raju. And look at you, so early. Good job." Raju felt a warm, happy feeling spread inside his chest. This discipline thing made him feel strong and proud. But I must tell you, it wasn't always easy. Some mornings, his bed felt like the coziest, most comfortable place in the whole world. His sleepy voice would whisper, "Just 5 more minutes, Raju. Just 5. But then he would remember Grandpa's wise words about the seed needing the sun. He would imagine himself as a little plant trying to grow, and so he would throw off the blanket and get up anyway. As days turned into weeks, something amazing happened. Raju started helping his mom in the kitchen before school. He would feed their gentle cow, Lakshmi, some fresh grass. His body began to feel light and energetic, not heavy and tired. His mind felt clear and ready to learn. Discipline was quietly changing his whole day, and it started with one simple decision to wake up early. So, my friend, remember Raju's first lesson. Think of discipline as a special key. This key can open many doors to good things in your life. You don't have to do everything at once. Start very small. Maybe tomorrow, try waking up just 15 minutes earlier than usual. Wash your face, brush your teeth, and make your bed neatly. See how it makes you feel. You might be surprised. Raju had learned his first big lesson, but his journey had only just begun. There were more challenges waiting for him just around the corner. Chapter 2: The Fear That Held Raju Back. Now Raju was doing very well with waking up early. He had discipline in the morning, but there was another problem. Raju was very shy. When he was at school, he always chose a seat in the very back row, hoping no one would notice him. When the teacher called his name, "Raju, please stand up and read this poem for the class," his heart would start to beat as fast as a tiny, scared bird's. His mouth would feel dry. "I can't," he would whisper so softly that even the boy next to him couldn't hear. His voice seemed to disappear. It was the same during games time. All the boys would run to the field to play cricket, a very popular game in the village. They would shout, "Raju, come on. It's your turn to bat." Raju would just shake his head and look at his shoes. "No, thank you. I'm not good at it," he would mumble. So he would sit alone under a tree, watching the others run, laugh, cheer, and have so much fun together. He felt a lonely ache in his heart. One evening, his father noticed Raju sitting quietly on the doorstep looking at the stars. "Raju," his dad said, sitting beside him, "why are you so quiet these days? You seem like a mouse when you used to be a little chattering bird." Raju took a deep breath. "Dad," he confessed, "I don't have any confidence. I'm scared to talk, scared to play. I feel like I will do everything wrong." His father put a strong, loving arm around Raju's shoulders. "Ah, confidence," his dad said. "Let me tell you a secret. Confidence is not something you are born with, like your eyes or your smile. Confidence is much more like a muscle in your arm." "How do you make a muscle strong?" Raju thought and said, "By using it, by exercising." "Exactly right," said his dad. "You build confidence by trying. Even if you are scared, you must try. Stand up tall, like a brave soldier. Speak in a voice that is loud and clear enough for people to hear. And most importantly, believe inside your heart that you can do it." The very next day at school, Raju decided to try. The teacher asked Raju, "Can you answer this simple math question?" For a second, Raju's old fear grabbed him. But then he felt his father's arm around his shoulders, even though his dad wasn't there. Raju stood up. His knees were shaking a little, like leaves in the wind. He took a big breath and said, "The answer is 5. His voice sounded a bit strange to his own ears, but it was loud enough. The teacher smiled and nodded. "That is correct, Raju. Well done." A few of his friends in the class started to clap. Raju felt a huge, bright smile spread across his whole face. It was a small win, but it felt enormous. That afternoon at home, Raju had an idea. He stood in front of the small mirror in his house. He looked at his own reflection. "Hello," he said to the mirror. "My name is Raju. I am a brave boy." It felt silly at first, but he said it again and again, 10 times. Each time, his voice became a little stronger, a little clearer. A few days later, during cricket, when his friend shouted, "Raju, bat," Raju didn't shake his head. He stood up tall, walked to the pitch, and said, "Yes, I will bat." The bowler threw the ball. It came fast, but Raju kept his eyes on it, swung the bat with all his might, and whack. The ball flew far, far across the field. All the boys shouted and cheered, "Wow, what a great shot, Raju." He felt like he was flying. Confidence was growing inside Raju, like a beautiful, strong plant. But sometimes the old weeds of fear tried to grow back. Before a test, he would think, "What if I fail?" Before speaking, he would think, "What if they laugh?" But then he would remember, confidence is a muscle. He just had to use it again. He would take a deep breath and try. So, my friend, learn from Raju. Your confidence grows from small wins, just like his did. Every morning, look in the mirror and say, I can. Try to speak up once today, even if it's just to say good morning clearly. Try one small new thing. You have a light inside you. Let it shine. Now, Raju felt taller and stronger. He had two good friends walking beside him, discipline and confidence. But the road ahead was still long. Chapter 3, Sweating for Dreams. Raju was changing. He woke up with the sun, and he was starting to speak up more. But when his school test papers were handed back, his marks were still painted in sad, red ink. Why is this? Raju wondered, feeling puzzled. He thought about his days. I understand now, he said to himself. I play too much. And it was true. After school, as soon as the bell rang, Raju would run straight to the sparkling river with his friends. They would splash in the cool water, build dams with mud, and laugh until the sky turned dark orange with sunset. All the while, his school bag with his homework inside sat waiting by the door, lonely and undone. His grandpa noticed this pattern. One evening, as Raju tried to quickly finish his homework by candlelight, squinting at the numbers, Grandpa sat beside him. Raju, he said, his voice as crackly as the fire, hard work is the fire that cooks your dreams. Raju looked up, confused. What does that mean, Grandpa? How can fire cook a dream? Grandpa smiled. A dream is like a raw potato. You can wish and wish for a tasty, cooked potato, but wishing won't heat it up. You need to build a fire, put the potato in, and let the heat do its work. That fire is your hard work. Dreams don't come free, my boy. You must sweat for them. You must work hard, every single day, to turn your wish into something real. Raju decided to build his fire. He made a new plan. After playtime, he would give 1 full hour to his studies. No excuses. He cleared off his small, wooden desk. Math was the hardest. The numbers and symbols looked like a confusing puzzle. Instead of giving up, Raju took a deep breath. He did the same sums again and again and again. His hand began to ache from holding the pencil so tightly. The candle burned lower. His mother came in with a glass of warm milk. You look tired, Beta, she said, smoothing his hair. Yes, Mom, Raju admitted, rubbing his eyes. But I won't stop. The fire has to keep burning. When exam time came, Raju turned his fire into a blaze. He studied extra hours. One afternoon, his friends called from the lane. Raju, come play kabaddi. We need you. Raju looked longingly out the window. He loved kabaddi. But then he looked at his books. Not today, friends. He called back. I have to study. Tomorrow, I promise. It was difficult to say no, but he did it. Finally, it was results day. The teacher walked in with a stack of papers. She began to read the names from the bottom up. Raju's heart was a drum in his chest. She read 5th place, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st in the class. The teacher announced with a proud smile, is Raju. For a second, Raju couldn't move. Then he jumped from his seat. His hard work had paid off. The potato was cooked. The feeling was sweeter than the juiciest mango. But life, my friend, doesn't always give us cooked potatoes so easily. In the next test, Raju didn't come first. He didn't even come in the top 5. He felt like his fire had been drenched with cold water. Why did I work so hard for nothing? He cried to his father. His dad put a firm hand on his shoulder. Failure is not the opposite of hard work, Raju. It is part of it. Every farmer knows some seeds don't sprout. Do they stop planting? No, they plant again. Your hard work is never wasted. It is stored in your heart and mind. Now, keep going. So, Raju worked even more. He didn't just study from books. He started helping his father in the fields on weekends. He learned to pull out the tricky weeds that stole water from the crops. He carried heavy buckets of water for the new plants. His arms grew stronger, and so did his will. Hard work wasn't just about marks now. It made him feel proud and capable. Friends, think of your biggest wish. Now, think of hard work as your very best friend. This friend doesn't give you things for free. but he helps you turn I wish I could into look what I did. Pick one small goal. Maybe it's learning to ride a bicycle, or getting better at drawing, or reading one chapter every day. Work on it daily, just a little. Be like Raju. Light your fire, then watch the magic happen. Raju's fire was now burning bright and warm, but he soon realized he needed to learn how to control that fire, so it could light up his whole day, not just parts of it. Chapter 4: The Clock That Saved Raju's Day. Raju now had discipline to start his day, confidence to speak up, and the fire of hard work. But he had a new problem. His days felt like a wild, rushing river. He was always running, always forgetting things. Where is my pencil? Oh no, I left my lunchbox at home. I wanted to play, but now it's too dark. He felt breathless and messy. His little sister Minnie loved to tease him. One morning, as Raju ran around the house looking for his other sock, Minnie laughed and pointed. Raju, you run like a chicken with no head. She giggled. Raju stopped. He didn't feel angry at Minnie, he felt mad at himself. He was like a headless chicken. He needed order. He needed time management. Luckily, his wise teacher had a lesson on this very thing. Class, she said, time is like a bag of gold coins. If you spend it all at once on sweets, you have nothing left for toys or books. But if you plan how to spend each coin, you can have sweets, toys, and books. You must plan your time. She gave everyone a blank chart. That evening, Raju made his own time chart on a piece of paper. He looked at the big clock on the wall with its steady tick-tock, tick-tock. 5:00 a.m. Wake up. Discipline. 5:30 a.m. Bath and get dressed. 6:00 a.m. Study time. Hard work. 7:00 a.m. Help mom feed Lakshmi the cow. 7:30 a.m. Eat a big, happy breakfast. 8:00 a.m. Leave for school. 3:30 p.m. Come home, rest for 15 minutes. 4:00 p.m. Playtime for 30 minutes. Fun is important too. 5:00 p.m. Homework for 1 hour. 6:30 p.m. Help family, maybe sweep the yard or watch Minnie. 8:00 p.m. Dinner with family, tell them about your day. 9:00 p.m. Bedtime. Good night. Raju stuck his chart on the wall next to the big clock. The clock became his new friend. When the long hand pointed to 12 and the short hand to 6, the clock seemed to say, "Tick-tock, Raju, time to study." And Raju would listen. One wonderful, rainy day, his friends came to his door. The rain had stopped, leaving perfect, squishy mud everywhere. "Raju, come. The mud is perfect for making forts," they shouted. Raju felt a huge pull to run out that second, but he looked at his chart. It was 5 p.m. homework time. He remembered the gold coins. If he spent his homework coin on mud now, he'd have none left later. "I'll come soon," he promised. Homework first. He sat down and focused like never before. He finished in 45 minutes. Then he ran out and joined his friends in the glorious mud, his heart light because his work was done. His father noticed the change. "You finish your work quickly now, and you still have time for a smile," he observed happily. Raju grinned. Time management had given him more joy, not less. Of course, he wasn't perfect. One day, a cricket game was so exciting. Just one more over, he begged his friends. Then another, and another. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Time flew. He got home late, missed his help with mom time, and dinner was almost finished. He felt the old rushy, messy feeling. The next day, he apologized and fixed his schedule, promising his clock friend he would do better. So, friends, try making your own simple list. Just for tomorrow, write down the 3 most important things you need to do. Do them first. Learn to say no to things that waste your precious time coins, like too much TV or phone when you have other plans. When you plan your time, your day will feel bigger, calmer, and full of smiles, just like Raju's. Raju's clock now ruled his world in a gentle, helpful way. But the biggest test for his heart was still to come. Chapter 5: The Lie That Hurt Everyone. Life was going well for Raju. He had a routine, he felt braver, and his marks were good. But one sunny afternoon, trouble found him. He was running in the school corridor, which was against the rules, and he accidentally knocked a beautiful glass vase off a table. It fell to the floor with a terrible crash. Pieces scattered everywhere like shiny, sad stars. The noise brought the teacher running. "Who did this?" she asked, looking at the broken glass and then at the boys gathered around. Raju's heart jumped into his throat. He was scared, scared of punishment, scared of disappointing everyone. Without thinking, the words jumped out of his mouth. "It wasn't me," he said, his eyes wide. He pointed quickly to his quiet friend Ravi, who was standing nearby. I think Ravi was running." Ravi looked shocked. But he was a kind boy and didn't argue. The teacher, trusting Raju, gave Ravi a punishment. No playtime for a week. Raju got away with nothing. But, my friend, Raju did not get away with nothing. He got away with a heavy, dark rock in his stomach. That rock was guilt. All day he couldn't look Ravi in the eye. At night he lay in bed staring at the ceiling. The kind, sad look on Ravi's face played over and over in his mind. Sleep wouldn't come. "Lying is bad," a voice whispered inside him. "You hurt your friend to save yourself." His mother came to check on him and saw his sad face in the moonlight. "What is it, my beta?" she asked softly. The whole story tumbled out with tears. His mother wiped his cheeks. "A lie is like a thorn in your foot," she said. "It hurts more the longer it stays in. The truth might pinch when you pull it out, but then the healing can start. Tell the truth, beta. It is the only way to make the heavy rock disappear." The next morning, Raju's legs felt like wood as he walked to school. He went straight to his teacher before class. His voice trembled, but he spoke. "Teacher, I have to tell you something. I broke the vase yesterday. I was running. I lied and said it was Ravi. I'm very, very sorry." He waited for the scolding, for a bigger punishment. The teacher knelt down to his level. She didn't look angry. She looked proud. "Raju," she said, "that took real courage. Honesty when you have done wrong is the bravest thing of all. Thank you for telling me." She then called Ravi over and explained. Ravi's face broke into a relieved smile. "Thanks, Raju," he said. "I didn't like being in trouble for something I didn't do." From that day on, Raju decided to speak the truth, even about small things. Once, he hadn't finished his drawing homework. Before, he might have made an excuse. Now he said, "Teacher, I did not finish my drawing. I will finish it during lunch break." Instead of being mad, the teacher helped him. Another time, his father couldn't find some money he had saved. Raju found the notes under a sack of rice. He could have kept them secretly, but he didn't. He immediately gave the money back to his dad. His father's eyes grew bright. "An honest boy like you," he said, hugging Raju tightly, "makes a family's trust as strong as a mountain." Raju learned that lies make your heart sick and heavy, but the truth, even when it's difficult, makes you feel light and free. It builds a bridge of trust between you and everyone else. So, friends, be an honest friend, an honest brother, an honest sister, an honest student. It feels so good inside. And if you do something wrong, be brave like Raju. Say "I'm sorry" and tell the truth. You will find that people forgive, and they trust you even more than before. With the heavy rock of the lie gone, Raju's heart felt as light as a feather. But a new, whispering doubt was trying to sneak in. Chapter 6: The Voice Inside That Said You Can. Raju had collected many good habits now, but one day a quiet, sneaky thought came into his mind. It whispered, "But are you really good enough?" This thought is called doubt. It happened when a new boy named Amit joined their class. Amit was from a big city. He wore neat clothes and, most impressively, he spoke English very fast and fluently. He could say things like, "Absolutely," and "That's fantastic," without even thinking. When Raju tried to say good morning in English, it came out slow and careful. Amit chuckled. Raju's confidence shrunk. He felt small, like a little mouse next to a proud parrot. "I can never be like him," the doubt voice whispered. "I'm just a village boy." Grandpa saw Raju sitting quietly, not practicing his English words. "What is troubling the seed today?" Grandpa asked. Raju sighed. Amit speaks English like a river flows. I speak like a rock rolls. I can't do it. Grandpa's eyes were serious. Raju, listen. Self-belief is your own personal power. It is the voice inside that answers the doubt. Do you believe the sun will rise tomorrow? Yes, said Raju. Of course. You believe it because you have seen it happen again and again. You must believe in you because you have seen yourself learn, grow, and change. God made you special, with your own strengths. Amit's strength is city English. Your strength is knowing the names of every tree and bird in these hills. Believe in your own power to learn. Raju nodded slowly. The doubt was still there, but a new, stronger voice was waking up. I believe I can learn, he said to himself. He walked to the mirror. He looked right into his own eyes. Raju, he said out loud, you are smart. You learned discipline. You learned confidence. You can learn English too. You can do anything you decide to do. He said it 3 times. The first time, it felt strange. The third time, it felt truer. At school, Amit laughed again when Raju read a Hindi sentence in a slow, clear voice for the class. Before, Raju would have looked down. This time, the new voice inside spoke up. Raju stood tall. He looked at Amit and said calmly, in his best English, I will learn. Watch me. He didn't say it to fight, he said it as a promise to himself. That self-belief became his fuel. When a math problem was hard, the doubt voice said, it's too difficult. The self-belief voice answered, try one more time. And he did. He didn't quit. Friends, self-belief is like a pair of invisible wings on your back. Doubt tries to clip them. But when you believe in yourself, you can fly higher than you ever imagined. Some people might doubt you, like Amit doubted Raju. But you must not listen to them. Listen to the voice inside that says, I am enough. I am learning. I can do this. Say it every morning. Whisper it before you try something new. You are your own most important friend. With his new wings of self-belief, Raju was ready for his biggest learning adventure yet. Chapter 7, Raju's English Adventure, Word by Word. English felt like a tall, thick wall to Raju. On the other side was a wonderful garden of stories, songs, and conversations, but the wall seemed impossible to climb. The words are too big, he complained to his mother. The sentences are too tangled. He saw Amit in that garden, running freely. Raju wanted to be there too. His kind teacher knew how he felt. Raju, she said, you don't have to climb the wall in one jump. You learn by taking one small brick out at a time. Every day, learn a little. Be patient with yourself. So, Raju began his English adventure, not with a run, but with a single step. He started with the simple, golden bricks of language. In the morning, good morning, Mom. His mom, surprised and pleased, smiled back. Good morning, Raju. At school, he stood at the door and said, may I come in, please? The teacher nodded. Yes, you may. With friends, instead of just nodding, he said, let's play. His friend Govind grinned. Yes, come. He made a list of magic words. Hello. Thank you. Please. Sorry. Excuse me. He practiced them like a little song. He would drop a pencil and say, excuse me. When he bent to pick it up, he would receive his lunch and say, thank you, Mom. He found a simple book with big pictures. The sentences were short. He sat under his tree and read out loud, slowly. The cat is fat. He looked at the picture of a very round, happy cat and giggled. That cat is fat, he said. Learning could be funny. Of course, he made mistakes. Lots of them. Once, telling a story about yesterday, he said, I got home. Some friends giggled. The old Raju would have blushed and gone silent. The new Raju, with his self-belief, laughed at himself. I mean, he said, correcting himself, I went home. Laughing at his own mistakes made them feel small, not scary. Slowly, brick by brick, his sentences grew taller. He learned to ask, what is your name? He learned to answer, my name is Raju. Nice to meet you. Each new sentence was a victory. His family joined his adventure. His mother said, Raju, tonight, tell us a small story in English at dinner. Raju was nervous, but he agreed. That night, with everyone listening, he took a deep breath. Once there was a boy. He worked hard. He never gave up. He won a prize. The end. It was short. It was simple. But when he finished, his whole family clapped. Many cheered again, Baya again. Raju wasn't perfect. Amit still spoke faster. But Raju could now speak clearly. He could understand his teacher. He could read his simple books. The wall wasn't gone, but he had built a strong, steady door right through it. Friends, learning anything new, English, music, a sport, is like Raju's adventure. Go slow, word by word, note by note, step by step. Say one new English sentence today, just one. Repeat it a few times. Don't fear mistakes, they are just practice bricks. You can do this. Yes, you can. Now Raju's tongue danced with new words. But life, as it does, had a plan to test if he could remember all his lessons when things got really tough. Chapter 8, Falling Down but Standing Tall. Life decided to test Raju's strength. The biggest exams of the year were coming. Raju used all his tools, discipline to wake up and study early, hard work to practice sums and grammar for hours, time management to balance it all. He felt ready, but the exam paper was very, very tough. Questions he had never seen before stared back at him. His mind went blank for a moment. He did his best, writing until his hand ached. When the results came, his name was not near the top. It was in the middle. To Raju, it felt like the very bottom. He had failed to do his best. His eyes filled with hot tears of disappointment. All that work for nothing. He sobbed. Some friends who didn't like studying whispered, "See, trying hard doesn't help. Just give up." Raju walked home, his feet dragging. He felt like all his progress, the discipline, the confidence, the hard work was crumbling. But then, in his heart, he heard echoes. He heard Grandpa's voice, "The seed needs to push through hard soil." He heard his father's voice, "Failure is part of hard work. Keep going." He heard his own voice in the mirror, "You can do anything." He wiped his tears. Giving up was not an option. "I won't quit," he said out loud to the setting sun. His voice was firm. He didn't just study more, he studied smarter. He asked his teacher for help with the tricky questions. He found a new way to remember history dates by making a silly song. He formed a small study group with Ravi and another friend, teaching each other. The next big test arrived. This time, Raju felt nervous, but also prepared. He read each question carefully. He remembered his silly song. He wrote clearly. A week later, the teacher announced the results. And for top marks in this test, well done to Raju. He had done it. He didn't just pass, he topped the class. The joy was explosive. He knew this victory was sweeter because he had tasted failure first. Never give up, he whispered to himself, a mantra he would never forget. The test wasn't just in school. The village fair came, with the talent show. Raju loved to sing the old folk songs his mother taught him. He decided to be brave and enter. But on the stage, under the bright lights, with hundreds of faces looking at him, his confidence vanished. His throat closed. His voice came out as a shaky whisper. He forgot the words halfway through. People looked confused, some even giggled. He ran off the stage, humiliated. The desire to never try again was strong, but never give up echoed. For the entire next year, he practiced that song. He sang for his cow, for the trees, for his family. He recorded his voice and listened to improve. The next year's fair came. He walked back onto that same stage, his heart pounding. But this time, he took a deep breath, thought of his family's smiling faces, and sang. His voice was clear, strong, and beautiful. When he finished, the crowd cheered and clapped for a long time. He had stood tall after a fall. Friends, falling down is part of everyone's story. Falling is not failing. Failing is deciding to stay on the ground. When you fall in a game, in a test, in trying something new, don't listen to the voice that says stop. Listen to Raju's voice that says stand up. Brush off the dust. Learn from the fall. Try again. That is how you win in the biggest way. Raju had learned to never quit. And now he was ready to share all his light with others. Chapter 9, Raju shares his light. Years passed. Raju was now 16, taller and wiser. He looked around his village and saw other children who reminded him of his old self, the lazy, shy, unsure boy he used to be. He realized his lessons weren't just for him. A warm feeling grew in his chest, the desire to help, to share. He started simply. He gathered a few younger kids under the same big tree where Grandpa had taught him. "Friends," he said, "who wants to have more time to play?" All hands shot up. "Then we must learn to wake up with the sun." He started a sunrise club. They would meet at 5:30 a.m., do some stretches, and share one goal for the day. He saw shy girls and boys hiding during play. He started a confidence circle. Once a week, they would stand in a circle. Each person had to say one thing they were good at, and one sentence about their day, speaking loudly and clearly. No one was allowed to laugh. Only support. He made hard work a game. He created a chart for reading books. "For every chapter you read and can tell me about, you get a star." 10 stars, and we have a small celebration. The children began to compete in the best way to learn more. He helped them make their own simple time charts, just colorful boxes for study, play, and help. He told them the story of the broken vase and the heavy rock, teaching them that honesty makes you feel light and free. In the evenings, he started English hour. It wasn't a strict class. It was fun. They sang simple English songs. They played Simon Says with English commands. They learned to introduce themselves. "Hello, my name is Gopi. I like mangoes." There was one boy, Sanju, who was exactly like the old Raju, always late, always messy, always quiet. Raju took special care of him. He walked with him in the mornings. He paired with him in the confidence circle. He patiently practiced English words with him. A year later, Sanju won a prize at school for most improved student. The joy on Sanju's face was the same joy Raju had felt long ago. It was a joy that doubled when shared. The village headman called Raju to his home. "Raju," the old man said, putting a hand on his shoulder, "you are not just a good boy. You are a leader. You are lighting lamps for others with your own light." Raju felt proud, but he knew the truth. "Sir," he said humbly, "I'm just sharing the light that others, my grandpa, my parents, my teacher gave to me when I was in the dark." Raju's light was spreading, but he had a dream that needed an even bigger flame. Chapter 10. The Big Dream Takes Flight. The dream had been a small seed in Raju's heart for a long time. Now it was pushing to grow. He dreamed of a school, not just any school, but a special place for children from the poorest families in the area. A place where they could learn English, yes, but more importantly, learn the life lessons that had changed him. Discipline, confidence, honesty, and never giving up. The dream was big, but Raju remembered: start small, work hard. After finishing his own studies, he took a job in a nearby city. He worked in a small shop. Every month, he saved a little money, coin by coin, for his school fund. He lived simply, remembering the value of hard work. He told his dream to a kind uncle who lived in the village. The uncle listened, his eyes growing bright. "A school," he said, "for our children. Raju, I have a small piece of empty land near the old banyan tree. It is yours to use." That was the spark. Raju came back to the village on weekends. He shared his plan. His old friends Ravi, Govind, and even Amit, who had become a good friend, all came to help. They cleared the land together. They mixed mud and straw to make strong bricks. They built the walls with their own hands, laughing and singing as they worked. Mothers from the village brought them water and food. Everyone painted the door a bright, happy blue. Opening day arrived. The sky was crystal clear. Dozens of children, in their cleanest clothes, stood outside the one-room schoolhouse, their eyes wide with excitement. An old man rang a brass bell. Ding dong, ding dong. The first students walked in. They looked at Raju and said, "Good morning, Raju sir." His heart felt so full it might burst. Raju stood in front of them. He was no longer just a boy. He was a teacher, a dream builder. "Welcome," he said, his voice strong with emotion. "This is your school. Here, we will learn many things. But remember this most of all: believe in yourself. Work hard, and never, ever quit. Your dreams are waiting for you." The school grew. More teachers joined. Raju became the principal. He married a kind, smart girl from the next village who loved children as much as he did. They had their own children, and Raju taught them the same lessons under the same big tree. Many, many years later, an old Raju, his hair silver like moonlight, sat under that now ancient shady tree. A circle of bright-eyed grandchildren sat around him. "Tell us the story, Grandpa. Tell us the story of the lazy boy," they begged. Raju smiled, his old eyes twinkling. "All right," he said, his voice soft but clear. "Once there was a boy who loved to sleep late, and so the story began again, a circle of light passing from one generation to the next forever. The warm end, your turn now." And so, my dear friend, Raju's story comes to a close here with us. But the most exciting part is that your story is just beginning. Raju's journey teaches us that giant oak trees grow from tiny acorns. Great changes start with small, brave steps. Discipline is the first step out of bed each morning. Confidence is the voice that says I'll try when you're scared. Hard work is the secret ingredient that cooks your biggest dreams. Time management is the map that helps you enjoy the journey. Honesty is the key that unlocks a light, free heart. Self-belief is your superpower, never forget you have it. Learning English or anything happens slowly, word by word, with patience and practice. And through all of it, never giving up is your promise to yourself. You have all of this inside you right now. Yes, you, the one listening so carefully. Believe in the wonderful person you are becoming. Try one new thing today. Say one English sentence out loud. Tidy your space. Help someone with a smile. Each small step is you writing your own amazing adventure. If Raju's story touched your heart and made you feel like you can do anything, could you do something for me? Please give this video a big thumbs up. It's like a high five through the screen and lets me know you enjoyed our time under the tree. And if you want to join me for more stories that teach, inspire, and make you smile, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's the best way to make sure we don't miss our next chat. Most importantly, share this story. Send it to a friend who might need a little encouragement today. Share it with your brother, sister, or cousin. Let's build a whole forest of strong, kind, and believing kids, just like Raju did. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is the one biggest lesson you will take from Raju's story? Tell me all about it down in the comments below. I read every single one and they make me so happy. Thank you for sitting with me under this shady tree. Remember, you are braver than you think, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you know. Keep growing, keep shining, and I'll see you in the next story. Bye for now.